Oh no, the Convoy, Ohio power plant is gone. Whatever will we do? Welcome to the Stover Farm channel. I'm so glad to have you here with us, and I am still in a mood to build things. And I think it's so awesome in this game because you get really two games in one. You get the farming side of Farm Sim, and then you get the map making side of Farm Sim and all the creativity that comes with it. Finding ways to make your city or your farm or your town yours, all yours, to your really imagination can run wild. And one of the things that I don't have the luxury of doing is going in and actually making placeable items myself. I don't have Giant's Editor, so I have to take what is currently in the game as placeable items or, houses, or stables, or garages and make something myself. And I think it's really interesting to see what you can actually do with these placeable items in the map editor. And you've seen some of the previews of Convoy, Ohio that I'm building once again out of no man's land. I had a power plant, a nuclear generating station. And you're probably asking, what in the world does this have to do with Farm Sim? Well, it has everything to do with Farm Sim because in this case, we've created an entire town out of a map. And we've got to power that town. City public works are all part of that equation of creating and building a town, whether or not it's a water treatment plant or a Department of Transportation for snow removal or a police or fire station. Power plants, they are just as important in your map. Now, full disclosure, I've already built this plant ahead of time, so I did destroy it and I'm going to rebuild it, but I'm not going to rebuild it exactly the way it was. Let's make something a little different, a little more interesting. Um, I'm also not going to time this because I honestly don't know how long it's going to take, and I want to get a finished product. But we're going to take this space and turn it into this. And the reality is, you don't have to make a nuclear power plant. You don't have to be a nuclear engineer or a physicist to make this work. You can make anything you want by just taking some cool productions and throwing them together. I just have to happen to have some fascination with nuclear. I know a little bit about it, so that's what I'm going to make. And we're going to start with some silos. And you're going to say, what in the world are you starting with silos for? Well, there happens to be an all-platform mod that has really come in handy for me when I build things. And that is this bunker silo kit. It comes with just a dividing wall and a concrete square. But what's really, really cool about this is as you start laying them out, you can stack them. And one of the things that we're going to utilize is turning off that overlapping function or that auto terrain function. Because we're going to be putting things on top of each other. We're going to be clipping items into each other. So it's very, very important that you understand how you do that. And you do that through pushing, I believe it is the V key on keyboard and mouse. I don't know, or I should say on Mac and PC. I don't exactly remember what it is on console, but you can turn that off. And again, what that allows you to do is where you see the item trying to, it's telling you what you're overlapping this. I'm not going to allow you to place it. We're going to turn that off, and now it's going to allow me to place this anywhere I want. So here we go. We're going to build, I guess, in a couple of stages. There's really kind of three main components visually to a power plant like this. Those big containment domes. We've all seen them, those ominous big concrete structures where the nuclear reactor is. Ooh, scary. Then there's kind of like the technical area, power lines, stuff that looks, like generator circuits and things like that. They're buildings. Then the third thing are those big cooling towers where the steam is coming out. That's not nuclear like waste, by the way. That's just steam. It's completely harmless. Uh, Probably not going to be able to make those massive, big, what are called passive draft style cooling towers. I don't know of a way to do it properly in the game, but we can make some like active condenser style cooling towers. Let's not get too technical. I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's start though with those containment domes, and we're going to use this bunker silo kit. And I had them over here. They were over here in this area to begin with. I'm going to actually kind of rotate this plant completely, 90 degrees. We've got the cooling pond out here. So I'm going to put kind of the plant towards the upper, and I guess I should give you some reference on where the heck we're at. Let's go into the map. Allow the game to save. I always recommend that. Going into the map, we are in the upper left-hand corner. So we are way up here in quadrants 1 and 2 on no man's land. And the way I'm going to build this is the kind of the plant portion will be in the far upper. This is how the map was. We're looking at it, northwest corner. We'll put the cooling tower down here where it was, and then we'll have, the water will come in, and then we'll have to add some power lines to get that power out to the town. And we're going to utilize the existing security measures that I've already got in here. And we can take a look at those real fast if you'd like. Nothing crazy. Again, just placeable items. Concrete bollards, K-rails, some lighting, some signage, a couple of flashing lights. We kind of made a little pattern here so you can't just drive straight through. You've got to drive around. We've got a gate, a little guardhouse. You come in and got fencing on multiple sides. You get here and you've got kind of two options. If you're bringing a semi-truck in here, maybe you're doing some type of transport mission. We want to weigh you. We want to do a full inspection. So you go into the weigh station and have a full inspection. Maybe you're just visiting or you're plant personnel. You come and you go around the bypass. So we're just going to keep all of that, and we're going to keep the current location of the cooling pond. All right. Again, don't get stuck on the technical stuff. Just think of things, and what you can do is Google this, do a Google image search for, I don't know, DOT or DPW, Department of Public Works, water treatment plant. And you can see what a water treatment plant looks like, and then come into the game editor and start looking for decorative items or buildings that really matches the decor of those items you're trying to make. Here we go. So first thing, I'm going to build a base, and I've got to be a little cautious here because I am in that far corner of the map. So fortunately, I've added some trees as a bit of a border here. But if I were looking too far out, it's not going to allow me to place items. So I've got to just be cognizant of that. Again, I think we're okay. I can also turn on snapping, so I'm using, it doesn't matter for this because this particular silo only lets you go in the, the 90-degree rotation range. But if you had something that could rotate, a full 360 degrees, you could turn snapping on, and you would be able to snap to those directional lines on the map to keep things nice and straight. So let's put one of these down. Again, we're perfectly square to that fence. And we're going to put our containment structure right over here. And I'm going to probably put, I don't know, a line of 3 long and maybe 3 or 4 high. And again, so here's where snapping does come into play. If I turn it off, it's gonna move fairly freely around, but if I turn it on, it's going to snap to. You kind of see how that's snapping, but it's going to make things nice and perfect as I line them up. Now, we're not going to get that notification that we're overlapping anything just yet because, well, we're just laying these out on the ground. As I start to come through or lay on top, we're probably going to get that, not an error, but just a message saying, hey, wait a second, what are you trying to do? We'll do that. And I think I might, I might make this a little bigger than the last plan I had. We'll do that. We'll do stack these two deep. That. Come in, rotating 90 degrees so we can come in here. And trying to get that as perfect as possible. I might have to turn off that snapping. I don't know if honestly, I don't know if I turned it off or on right there. I cannot tell. But hopefully you get the idea. Now we have this really nice rectangle. And now we're going to build up on it. So this is where we're going to get that error. And again, not an error, but just a notification saying you're overlapping with another item. I'm hitting the V key, and I'm turning that notification off. And now I can start stacking these items right on top of each other. And this is how I've done really most of my builds. If you remember back when we put a building inside of a building, you're placing an item down, a placeable on the map, and then you're turning off that overlapping feature, and you are just allowing the placeable to clip through. I don't know what it does to performance. Candidly, I haven't had any issues with that. Someone that is far more knowledgeable about games than I could potentially, comment. I don't know if this causes a degradation in performance. Again, I haven't noticed it, but it's always possible you could. This game is not the most, I guess, efficient when it comes to, like, at least to me personally, like, what's the right word? What am I looking for? It doesn't always seem like it runs the most efficient. I don't know if that's mod management or what. But, we get those stutters every now and again. I don't know. Maybe in, what would it be? Farm Sim 2025? Maybe we'll get a little more memory efficiency. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to look for term-wise. Help me out, folks. Help me out. I want the game to run as smoothly as possible on, systems. Okay, we're stacking this 3 high. We might even go 4 high. I don't know. We're just, again, going around here, making sure everything stacks very, very nicely. And what I'm building is the base of what will be those containment structures, the nuclear reactor containment buildings. This will be part of the nuclear island of the plant. And we're just going to allow this as a base because we're going to put on top of this the square silo base that is part of this package. And then we're going to put some biofactories on top of it. You'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to go into productions. We're going to look at like BGA equipment. Ooh, look at all that cool, fancy. We're gonna do some of that on top of this base that we're currently building. So back into silos, bunker silo kit mod. Again, this is all platforms. And you can just, build this stuff up to your heart's desire. Again, I clicked out of it there, so the overlapping feature turned back on. So I did have to turn that off once again. I think we are done after this row of our containment area in this nuclear power plant. Okay, there we go. Now, I need to put this bunker silo base down. And what you're going to find is you've got to work through the game limitations, right? It's not allowing me to get this properly aligned. I could certainly do it on the ground, no issues, because it's using that ground layer. But to get it to be properly aligned up here, it's not working. So what I'm actually going to do is, for this to be perfect, I'm going to come in and I'm going to lay down. This is completely, like, not aligned. But I'm going to lay down a couple of these right here. That's going to allow me to bring this in. And now, if I get it right, see, that didn't work properly. I need to stack a few more here, a little closer to that edge. Now, I should be able to... I'm just playing with it, and that's still not right. So I'm going to delete these. Once I get one of them properly set, all of the others will fall into place without having to do this. So maybe we're gonna come a little further in. And I'm just gonna stack these on top of each other. I'm very close to what I'm trying to accomplish here. Oh, I'm so close. Okay, so I need to move these over ever so slightly. So I'm just going to delete this. And I might even be able to... I don't even have to lay those down. It might just let me do it like this. And let's see. There we go. Perfect. So now if I drop one of those in, the rest of them are going to fall into place very, very easily. And what I'm going to do is then I'll delete that one that's hanging there. Is it going to let me do these over here? I might have to... It looks like I added an extra one there. No? Alright, I had to do a cut there because it was driving me insane, but this is what I was trying to get at, where we've got this concrete base structure and everything is, again, fairly nice and square. This now allows me to come back in here and delete these areas that I don't want. These are, you know, concrete silo blocks that I don't want. That was infuriating. But you know, hey, you work through it, and maybe if you weren't recording this to a video, you'd be able to do it far better and far quicker than I am. And just because I'm trying not to, you know, sound stupid on camera, I wasn't being successful. So we now have our kind of our nuclear island right there. I'm now going to come into productions, and we're going to go into these BGA factories, and we're going to find the ones that look like, hey, look at that, those look like nuclear containment domes. And I think we'll then add those right here. And I might turn them, no, I think I'll turn them like this. Probably wouldn't be completely accurate. They more than likely be like this on a plant like that, because the, you know, the generators and everything will be over here, but that's fine. We're not going for technical accuracy. We're just going to place these right here, right in the center, and maybe I'll turn that around because I don't want that auger pipe to be sticking out. We'll put that towards the back. And again, turn off that overlapping, and this is going to drop down perfectly right there. Now, I'm going to geek out a little bit because I do, again, know a little bit about power plants. I'm going to come into some decorations. I want to put in the other section, I've got a packet of, I think these are like Venetian buildings. I don't know, they're part of a building pack that is all platform, and it's got this really nice, like, looks like a technical garage. Where is it? Where is it? I think it's back further, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, here we go. It's in here. And it is this garage right there. It is called the European Decorative Building Pack. And this is a garage. It's got a light on it, which is kind of nice. And this will just fit nicely right in there. And this will be like the equipment hatch that allows you into the containment dome. So we're going to turn off that overlap, and we're going to drop these in here. This would be for, I don't know, maybe not refueling, but You're going to bring in big, heavy equipment into the plant, and you've got to bring in a crane or something. You're offline. You're not producing power. You drop that in there. Okay, so there's kind of the nuclear part of the plant. I'm now going to put some auxiliary buildings in. So I'm going to come into production. So I'm going to look and see what other things we have available to us. And in No Man's Land, there is a gold production factory that looks very similar to a nice rectangular, like, turbine building. And if I find it here, productions, there's grain drying. We're going to use that one as well. And we're going to use the gold production. And this has, an area for spawning. It has an area for you to drop equipment or items into. I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to rotate those around, and I'm going to hide them, because I am not using this as like a production facility. So I'm just going to set them up how I want them, turn off overlapping, drop them down. Now, I showed you that not gold production, but the grain dryer plant that was in here as well. And I believe I downloaded this, again, from the in-game mod hub. It's all platform. Where did it go? Let's see if I can find it again. And it matches the gold production factory almost perfectly right there. But it's got these cool, like, catwalks on it and some grading. I mean, it looks awesome. There are some pipe work, really, really nice detail. We're going to make this our turbine area for the plant. So I think I'm going to probably maybe bring this out just a little bit, because I'm going to back these up. So I'm going to mirror them. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to put another one over here. So now I've got my turbo generator, wouldn't be turbo generator, my steam generators. Now, that's not even right. What am I saying? Anybody's a nuke fan on here? It's the electrical generators, where the steam comes, right? You create electricity, you gotta boil water to create steam. Steam gets pressurized. Pressurizer turns a turbine. Turbine hits the generator. Generator makes electricity. This is where our generators would be, right in there. Now, you could build this out even further. Like, if you wanted to then put this on the end to do a nice little end cap, sure, go for it. You could even spin it around like this and hide. If you wanted this, well, maybe it won't let you do that. There are some limitations with this game. Let's see here. Let's just turn it around that way and put a nice little end cap right on here. And that is the end of our, where we make the power. Right there. Now, let's just keep looking. What else do we have that we can do stuff with? So in the productions tab, let's just see what's available. There were some really, really cool BGA network distributor mod. These are all in-game. These are all platform. They look awesome. So let's put some stuff here. I don't know what that would be, but let's put it there. Let's throw some stuff maybe on top of the building. The whole goal, again, we're not trying to be 100% technically accurate. We're just trying to make something that looks cool and can act as a role play for our power generation station. Let's see here. I think I lied. That doesn't look accurate. What else could I throw on top here? Oh, here's some cool stuff. Central digestate storage. That doesn't fit. Oh, yeah, let's put some of these on top. So turn that way. That looks really cool right there. Okay, these are generator medium. Oh, these are like turbo gen. These should probably go out here, actually. So let's put these out here. This will be our switching yard. So maybe turn those like that. And drop that down. Now, we should probably come into decorations. I think there is kind of a cool looking, this is like base game. It's a power distribution thing that's got, I think, Yeah, there it is. I just passed it. What's it called? Placeable Objects Pack Mod, a small substation. Now, okay, we don't want to make it small. Put multiple down. So let's go and put multiple down here. Boom. And again, when it says overlap with another item, that's okay. I'm just hitting the V key and it's turning off. Now I've got 3 of those side by side. Ooh, looking really cool. And it actually really is. Let's then... Ah, I got an idea. Generators. Like backup generators, turbo diesel generators. You got to have those at a power plant. Come into productions, generators. You can download. I think there's one in here. The selling point? Factory? Swear there is a... Oh, you know where it's at? It's in buildings, tools. There it is. A Massey Ferguson generator mod. I think this is to like charge your electric tractors, but it's a gigantic generator. So let's maybe put that in line with that circuit or that line of the plant. And we'll do it again right here and again right there. Looking pretty cool. Now let's focus on our ground layer here for a moment. So we had, the plant was over here, so we probably need to come into our landscaping, go into painting, and maybe paint something on the ground so that that is a little more uniform. We're going to still use that driveway, but up here, maybe we'll take this like that. We probably need to add a parking lot. And then I'm thinking a combination of concretes and gravel around the plant. So we need to come in and add our gravel here just to make things consistent. Around by the containment buildings. There we go. And just because we want to be accurate and my mind can be soothed, so that it is nice and clean right there. And it's funny, I'm going back and forth. I think in one of my other builds I mentioned how you don't have to be perfectly accurate with things. And, well, other times you do. You want to be, like, pinpoint accurate. You want things to be nice and square and line up. There we go. We'll change the size of the brush. We need to put those cooling towers in somewhere, and I then need to put an electrical switching yard. So we'll put the cooling towers maybe over here, and I guess the switching yard out here, although that doesn't make any sense because like it seems like the flow. Well, okay, to fix that, just delete that, and let's delete this. That's the great thing about this game, is you get through a build like this, you're like, wow, I don't like what I did. So let's go back into productions. Let's go back into factories. Go and find those similar items from the BGA, which were right here. And we're just going to turn them, and we're going to put them right here. And now back into decorations, other. We know that white rectangular or square switching substation was in decorations. And we'll just put these right out here. And again, I'm sure any engineer, mechanical or electrical, you're going to be like, you're cringing right now. But again, I'm trying to be technical and fun with what's available to make this power plant work for my map. And I do need to be cognizant, I guess, of too many items, because I could see where that would create potentially some performance issues with the game, depending upon the type of computer you're using. If you have too many placeables in one area. Although I think we're probably okay with the amount that we've got right here. And let's see, let's do that. And if I were doing one of my speed builds, I would be checking the time right now. I feel like I'm actually taking more time on this than I am on my speed build, and I'm making far more mistakes on this. But hey, that's the beauty of this game. It's two games in one. It's the map editor, the map designer, the landscaping designer, plus the game itself. It's almost like, I grew up on Sim City. That was probably one of the first games I ever played. Well, the first game I ever played, I remember very vividly on computer, was Need for Speed. That was amazing. And then I think the second game I played was Sim City, which really got me interested in like building things. And now games are just so detailed that you can build these amazing structures. Okay, where are we at? We need to build the cooling structure. How are we going to do that? Well, I'm going to come back to my good friend in the silo area. And I'm not going to make the mistake I did with that containment area. I'm only going to do one line of these. So we're going to put our cooling towers out here. And I'm going to lay these concrete blocks down. And maybe we'll do like 4 there, but we're only going to go 1 wide. I think that's going to make things far easier for when I add that top layer. So now we've got to decide how high we want to go up. Maybe we'll just go up 3 this time. We went up 4 with those containment buildings. Alright, 1 more layer. So put our end caps on. Rotate. And again, if you're wondering, what the heck are these things? These are silos. These are the concrete edges to the silo. And there are other mods out there. In fact, some really cool construction mods, if you are on Mac or PC, that like allow you to build things. I know there's some folks that use Farm Sim for role play in like construction, road construction, building of items, really, really very detailed. That you can find more of these type of placeable items. All right, here's the hardest part. Got to make that top work for us. There's that. Let's see if I can... Have I done it? I got that one over just a little too much. Rotate, so we're just going to set that down. Right there, and I think we'll have it this time. Yep. Perfect. So 1, again, they fall into place very nicely after that. It's got a little overhang there. I'm not worried about it. I do not want to waste your time. I've got to demo that. Now, how the heck do I make, like, grates on top? Good question. What looks like a grate? A sell point. So I'm going to come into the... where are we going to go? Into production, selling points. I've got a selling point for bales here. If I rotate like that, I can find the center line. It's going to say it's overlapping, but I'm just going to turn that off. And now I'm going to just drop a bunch of these in here. I think you can turn off the icons if you really wanted to. If that annoyed you, it doesn't annoy me enough to turn them off. There, we've got like a cooling tower. And oh, out here. Okay, let's make it so let's put like a pickup for cooling water. So buildings, actually decorations. I told you the secret beforehand. I already built the plan. It's the first time I've done that, but I figured it was technical enough that um, doing it all from scratch would potentially not be a good thing. So we're going to use this metal sheet garage shed, and we're going to like pretend that it's kind of like a tunnel or a section of, I don't know, it's whatever you want it to be. That's the beauty. So we're going to do that. You can stack those together, or you can just leave it like that. And then in decorations other, there's like some culvert piping. Let me see if I can find that quickly. There it is. So we'll put that in there, and we'll rotate. We'll have that pick up right there. Turn that overlapping off. Do that. Very nice. So that would be our discharge tube. And oh my gosh, we gotta have some pumps or pipes or something. Let's see if I can find a pump. I think there's a BGA details or BGA props that show up in your decorations area when you download some of those BGA mods. Yeah, there's that. That's a methane flare. Oh, well, that kind of looks cool. It's not a pump, though. I swear that there is a pump. Maybe it is in... This is one of the really hard parts about this game. I'm sure you all find this frustrating. I don't know of a better way to do it. But in the map editor, looking at your assets, you're constantly scrolling. And your eyes just, they get all blurry on you because you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And when you, maybe use something like that. When you see something that you know you might want to use, grab it immediately, because if not, you might lose it. Where in the heck? There is a, it looks like a pump. There it is. It is a BGA detail 2. It looks like a pump. I think it is a pump. Set that like right there, and we'll put those on top of that discharge, or maybe it's a valve or something like that. But that looks pretty cool to me. What else can we do to make some detail? All right, so let's maybe come in here and go into our landscaping tool, painting. Let's paint a little bit of concrete down, like right there. Make that look super nice. In our decorations, let's come... There are some like manhole covers or like doors that go on the ground. Let me see if I can find it. There's some of them. Yeah, we could put a couple of these down. That, and I don't know, maybe just to make it look cool, like those that did not go in the right spot. Just put one of those down. Now come into like your landscaping, excuse me, decorations and fencing. There's some metal fencing right here that we can take, and you can start adding with some little details like this. And all this is just dependent upon your imagination. Whatever role play you're going to do. So there's that. Maybe we want to look out here and we want to add a little bit more fencing. around the back of these cooling apparatus. We'll link onto that, take that to there, and we'll just outline this. I've already got the perimeter security fence, so I'm not too worried about going crazy with that. Bring that to about there. That looks good. What do we have? We've got... Okay, this is a fence here. Let's bring this around like this. And again, this is, you know, just whatever your mind, your creative mind desires here. And maybe leave some space open so you can walk through there. And then out here, this maybe is our switching yard. I don't know of any really good, like high-tension power lines. There are some power line mods, and we're going to put them down. But I'm not aware of any that would, like, accurately portray power coming out of a plant like this. So, we're going to have to just pretend a little bit, but that's okay. So there's that, and maybe we want to... certainly want to protect this area. So let's come into our fencing. We don't want people going in and getting electrocuted. And let's put some big fencing around this. And again, we won't completely close it off because maybe you want to like walk in here. Now let's find some, I believe it actually shows up as a fence. Yeah, they're right here. So this would be our, you know, power coming out of the plant. Maybe we want to run this over to, I've got some power lines running all the way out of the plant back into town. So we'll do that, and then we'll just come in and on this third line right here. Oops, it's going to snap. This out to there. Bring that over, then bring that down. I don't know. I'm gonna have to turn off. I might be so close to like those two items that it's not gonna let me do this. Yeah. So I might have to be slightly off here. But let's come like this. And we'll run that down like there. So there's our power coming out of the plant, going out to the grid. And you can just sprinkle other things in here if you want. If you feel like that doesn't have enough detail for you, just come into decorations, other, look for things that that might fit. So, you know, you could put like, I don't know, up against this, there's an ITR container that goes there. Maybe there is, I think there are some like metal poles and pipes. We could throw some of those down somewhere. Maybe some trash. Where are they? There we go. So like come in here and maybe there's, you know, again, there's usually not the case if this stuff is just laying around at a facility like this, but you know, this is Stover's town of Ohio, so maybe they're not as safety conscious here. I don't know. Okay, there's that. What else can we throw down? No rocks. Yeah, maybe like this could go somewhere. That there. Here, yes. So now, oh, you know what we've completely forgot? Oh my gosh. We've completely forgot how we get into this plant. Like a, I don't have a control area. I'm an idiot. Okay, hold on. Hold on. We're going to take these out. Moron alert. Okay, take that out. Let's come into decoration, other, and there's kind of an administrative building in one of these packs that exists, and I'm going to use that. Where is it, is the question. I think it's to the right, as I'm making you all go blurry in the eyes. Come on, where are you at? There we go. It's in this pack. Right there. Placeable buildings pack mod. So we're just going to pretend like this is kind of the, I don't know, the entry area into the control room. Like, maybe that sits like this. Yeah, that'll work. And then let's do some back in decorations, other. Put like that in here. Because we're going to have the parking lot. Landscaping, excuse me, decorations. Where is the chain link fence? Grab that. Let's just pretend there's... This is a safety area. It's a fence up next to it. Lawn, and maybe this is complete. Yeah, we want that to be covered up. We wouldn't want you driving, walking right up to the containment facility. And then this comes and clicks on there. Very nice. Oh, that's not going to work. Hold on, we might have to delete that layer because that was not, and that's not going to work either. Frustration. Okay, that's fine. You know what we can do just to make everything connect properly is I think we can come into I think we can connect all of these to each other. So in fencing, I think like that connect to there, and this would be like a massive short circuit, but there we go. They're all connecting into each other and they're going out that one line. Not realistic at all, but again, it looks cool. It'll work for this particular role play that we're doing. And then we need to add some grass here. Probably going to make that parking. I do like to add in my decorations, actually landscaping, painting. I do love to do like gravel borders on things. I know some of you hate that. I know people really hate it when it's on fields. I don't typically put them on fields, but I do like to do like an asphalt drive path, then you've got grass, and then you've got some type of, gravel border on there. That here. Oops. Gravel, just a touch. There. Finish that out. Very nice. We could probably Again, because this looks, we would need to make that secured as well. So I'll come into decorations. We'll get that chain link fence once again. Just run this like that, and we'll run it right up against that ITR container. And maybe we will do this too. Right there to there. And let me come into decorations other. And I want to put some trash bins down. Oh, I also see that. See, while I see it, while I'm like on it, like I recognize that, I want to grab that. So I want to put down for these generators over here. These are not useful. They do nothing. But I want proper, like I want diesel tanks for those generators. Go, and then maybe these, this is for the biogas. This is like a little crane up on top of the containment structure, and those little containment hatches there, you'd have a crane for that to get into the containment building. There we go. Now go back to what I was originally searching for. See, I saw it, and I just, my mind clicked, and I wanted to use it, so I grabbed it immediately. Because if I didn't grab it immediately, I would forget about it. So like, I'm going to find a little bit of detail here. Put that right there. There it is. I want this. Whoops, did I put another electrical box down? We did. We'll delete that. I want this container. So this is like a trash container. This will go right here. Trash pickup. And now, in decorative items, I want to find my parking blocks. We're almost done here, folks. We've almost got this completely built. And again, we're only using placeable items. We're not building this power plant in another application, bringing it in as a placeable item. We're creating this with what we have available to us. Because of that, we can do this on console, or we can do it on Mac and PC. It does not matter where we're building this. Right now, I'm looking for parking spots. I know they're in here. I know they are here. There they are. I don't know, again, if there's a better file management system than what currently exists, but boom, there we go. And then maybe it just turns around like that. Then we grab this little 2 section right there, drop that in. Then I think I've got some decorative cars. This is really helps with a map like this where there is no traffic on no man's land. You just start sprinkling in some cars to make it feel like there are people actually working at this facility. There we go. And we probably then want to come, I think there is, again, we're staying in decorative items. There are these bollards, because we wouldn't want any cars to get through here, drive through that, so we'll put those there. We could even, if, you know, again, you wanted to get really, really detailed with it, you certainly could. You can put these down. We might as well. Again, I caution you on some things like this, depending upon the system that you're running. I do not know what you can experience in regards to a degradation in performance by putting too many placeable items down. I've had a problem where I've gone in and put way too many tractors in a single area and had some major FPS hits. That was on actually one of the first maps I ever built. But I haven't had too many of those issues since. So I don't know, maybe it was just a isolated incident. And then, just to kind of dirty the place up a little bit, I'm going to come into painting. I'm going to choose my dirt. And I'm going to use the very small brush. And I'm just going to kind of just paint in some areas here just to give this texturing some contrast. Some areas where, you know, again, you're not going to have perfect, like, gravel everywhere. There's going to be imperfections, especially in the switch yard. Some of this down, and you might, sprinkle a few other items in that switch yard right there, just to make it feel a little more realistic. And here you have it, folks, the Convoy nuclear generating station in the northwest corner of the map that we just built with all placeable items in the map editor. We'll go ahead and take a parking spot here. Really cool thing about this, they turn the truck off and jump out. We're going to walk around ever so slightly, and I don't usually do this in a map build, but some of these productions have sounds to them. Can you hear that? Just adds to some of the realism. It's really, really cool. It's really, really fun. And I think a great addition if you're wanting to do role-playing, or you're building a town, building a city, you want to have some type of Department of Public Works or utilities on your map. My ultimate goal of making these how-to videos is to point out and share with you that yes, you can make some really cool items in the map editor. You don't have to be on PC. You can be on console. You can do stuff just like this. I know you can. Just give it a try. And I promise to continue bringing you content just like this, where it might not be perfect, we might not have all the details accurate, be technically proficient in this, but at least we're building really cool objects to place on our maps. Convoy, Ohio. See you next time, right here on the farm with the Stovers.